Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl T back with another live, y'all. Happy, what's today? Happy Monday. Welcome in, welcome in. We're going to do um we're going to do a quick sewing live, y'all. And I do mean this is really quick, okay? It's really quick. And I have already taken the liberty. Stop worrying. I've already taken the liberty and sewn the straps together because I had gotten so many questions. And then from the last video where the um, camera was not uh, on because I don't know what this thing is with StreamYard, but it had the camera acting real ugly and y'all could not see what's going on. So I'm just going to quickly do a small version of that. And remember, it's a no measurement um, project. But if you want measurements, I can measure it for you. So it's like 11 and a quarter by 6 1/4. So 11 1/4 by 6 1/4. And that's just to have like a reference point of measurement. All I really did was took the extra fabric that I had. So all of this was all connected. I just folded it in half and cut it. And those are the measurements that we have. So this is the bag that I have already test it out so I know that it works. I just made a smaller version of that bigger bag, but the reason and it is I forgot to sew the lining back on that one, but I'll sew it up later. But it is a fully lined bag. Up Designs, hey girl, hey, how are you? All right, so I'm back today to give y'all that tutorial because hey Miss Valerie, hey BKC Crafts, to give y'all that full tutorial so that y'all will be able to see because StreamYard didn't really let me be great when I tried to do it on a recording. So what I have done already is I've ironed my fabric. I put the lining on it. I'm actually going to use a lining this time, even though I didn't use a lining on this one and I didn't use a lining on the other one. And then I've cut everything out to size. I have sewn our straps. Now, hey, Precious Pieces, I do have one. Precious, can you meet me on Wednesday at Aviva Wholesale? Can you text me and let me know if you can meet me Wednesday at Aviva Wholesale right there on I think that's Buford Highway. But one of these, and like I said, this was strap fabric. One of them is just the hair wider, but you really can't tell it. I can tell it, but you really can't tell it. But there's that. So we're gonna use. I'm glad you're good. I'm okay. I'm a little tired from yesterday, but I'm okay. I'm okay. So the first thing we're going to do, and y'all, I got this right here for free today. Okay, you'll text me. They never showed up, so we have to wait. I know. I pray he will too. I remember that happened to my mama one time. Before she got her kidney, they didn't have enough staff. I mean, she was able to drive herself, but I mean, well, my sisters had to take her. However it went. But they just didn't have enough staff for her to be dialyzed, and that's dangerous. I'm definitely going to be praying for him too, Miss Valerie. But I got this right here for free today, y'all. This is a Hirschquana Viking Designer 1. When I say look on Facebook because you never know what somebody's giving. This sews, this embroiders. Now, you embroider on this by a floppy disk. Will I ever really use this for embroidery? Probably not, because I ain't got time to be going through no floppy disk. But this thing sews like a workhorse. Sews really good. So there's that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started. So let me don't mix up my my linings over there. So the first thing we're going to do, so this is our fabric, and I'm going to try and make our fabric line back up like this one. So as you can see, this one actually lines up all the way around, right? So what I did was, this will be our top, right? So if we're looking at the bag, this is going to be our top. So we're going to sew down here and across here, right? So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go as close as I can. I haven't really figured out like how to change the stitch length and any of that, but we're just going to roll with the stitch length that we get. We're going to back stitch, and now we're going to go for it. Hey, Miss Karen. I did, Miss Karen. Sure did. Sure did. And it works good. I got all kind of hoops, all kind of stuff came with it. And there are some like floppy disk and stuff. I don't know. We may try it. Hey, Donzel, welcome in. We may try it because there are some floppy disks in there with designs on it. So we may just try it out. Okay, so we got our first side sewn down. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we are going to start sewing this bottom. So we're going to let it go down a bit. Now we're going to mash the back stitch button. And now we are going to just sew all the way across. I need to check out. Okay. It's just really going on. You talking about for the machine, or you mean when we meet up? Okay. So now we have our oh Lord, y'all, I forgot to flip this over. Hang tight. Oops. So all I'm gonna do is open this up. Good thing I thought about it too late. But guess what? That's what they make a seam ripper for, running my mouth and not paying attention. Let me see what okay, forget it. I'll open that one back up. In a little bit, I'll open that one back up. No biggie. We got our iron right here, so all I gotta do is just press this on. Finish ironing that on because I actually had stopped ironing it, but but I can take the seam ripper and open that one up after a while because I don't see the seam ripper. And it's probably right here looking at me, but it'll be okay. So don't be like me. Pay attention to what you do. But it won't be hard to open that back up. Alright, so I'm going to put my iron back on its base down there. But still and yet, you're going to do it the same exact way. So we want our cats to go this way. So we're just going to fold it in half. And I'm going to pay attention this time, okay? So we're going to fold it in half. This is our top. So we're going to just drop this down. Start it. We're going to back stitch. And now we're just going to let it go forward. And hopefully this view is good because when we go to box those corners, I want y'all to be able to see when we box the corners. And I'm just back stitching. I'm gonna hit the stop. I was going to you can cut your thread, or you can just raise the needle and pivot. So I'm raising the needle and pivot. I am going to back stitch. Okay. And then we're just going to go all the way across. Got a piece of that little lining that is not ironed all the way down. I'll iron that in just a second. I don't really worry about it too much. And then I'm going to back stitch a little bit. I'm going to hit start, stop. And then I'm going to cut my thread. Okay, so we should be looking something like this. And just because I'm doing a tutorial, I'm going to teach y'all the right way. So make sure that you have everything ironed in place. Like so. I really didn't have that one ironed too tough because I wasn't really planning on using it. So this is the top of your bag. When I peek down, our cats match. So we're good there. So you should have something that looks like this. It is on the inside out. So the two right sides are facing. And then you should be able to see your interfacing on the back, right? And then this piece. Okay, that piece goes there. And this piece goes here. All right. So this is a same fabric on both sides. So all you really want to do, y'all, hold on. I gotta find that seam ripple. I got to find the seam ripple. And if I wasn't looking for it, it would be right here. But because I'm looking for it, because I'm looking for it, it wants to be actively missing. Anybody want to tell me what y'all? Oh, here we go. Right here. Because I still, oops. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to open this one back up. And the thing about when you sew really close to the edge, you don't really have to worry about tearing anything up too tough. Hey y'all, welcome in to anybody that I might miss with my head down for a second. So all I'm going to do is break the seams on this, and I'm just going to go down. And I probably won't even have to really, oh yes I will have to flip the bottom. So again, pay attention when you are, don't be like me. Okay. So, okay. Just like that. And then we're going to start it at the bottom. And when I say sewing takes patience, baby, it takes patience. Okay. So we are like, oops. I'm really just ripping it at this point. Okay. Anywho, we got what we needed, right? And that's all that matters. Now, if you ended up with anything fraying, just go ahead and fray check it or run your lighter across it, okay? Hey, Miss Carol, welcome in. Okay, so I'm just going to gently run my lighter down like this. Don't be like I did earlier and caught it on fire. Don't do that. Okay, so anywho, what you're gonna do before you even do that part that I showed you first time. So we're gonna fold this in half, right? Now, with this folded in half, that's your center mark. So let me get this little chalky type thing right here. Now let's see. Oh. Okay, so all I'm doing is just marking that center, right? And this is some kind of clover chalk. So I'm marking that center, and then I'm just going to fold in to this line. I'm going to fold again, and I'm going to fold again. So essentially, hey honey, had a day off next week, looking another weekend work, not sure why doors are booming in sales. Oh wow. So you end up with something looking like this, right? So then you go back and you're using those lines, but make sure that your fabric is facing the direction that it needs to be, but then you're going to turn it. So your cats, if you can see that, your cat should be straight in the right direction, but going that way. Hopefully that makes sense, right? So what we're going to do is pocketbook good but body exhausted. I hear you. So what we're going to do is you want to keep this flat as possible. Now I got those seen those lines in there, but I'm just guesstimating. I'm just kind of guesstimating. Now these straps are going to be super long on this particular bag, and make sure that you keep this flat as possible. Okay, and I'm just clipping this in place, right? Clipping this in place. And I am going to go kind of try and go rather slow because I want everybody to get this. And then we're just going to come in from our center, and again put it down and just kind of look at it, see what side is your best side for your stitching. All right, and we're going to roll with this, okay? And then we're going to check ourselves to see if our placement is going to be okay. All right, so if I do it like this, I know that we have the handles going the right direction, but you want to, okay, so we'll be okay that way. So now all we're going to do is we're going to go and baste this in place. Hey Bedazzling Designs, how you doing, honey? Okay, so all we're going to do now is baste this in place, and like I said, I'm going to go slow on this, y'all, because I want everybody to get it, right? And then I'm just going to drop my needle, and I'm not directly at the top. I am going to eventually stitch it at the top, but all right. All right, so I basted that first little piece in place. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move up a little closer to the edge. I'm still not at the edge. And I'm just going to back stitch a little bit. And then I'm going to stop it. And I'm going to cut that. So you should have something that looks similar to that. So when you pull it up, our handle is flush. And then we will top stitch that part. So we'll be okay there. So now we're going to repeat that same step for the rest of our handles. And again, I'm starting kind of halfway down, and I want to make sure that my needle position is about where I started the first time. I'm just going to back stitch a little bit, and then I'm going to stop. I'm going to cut my thread, and then I am going to go closer to the top. I'm going to go ahead and back stitch a few, and I'm going to stop, and I'm gonna cut my thread. Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to remove this clip, but I'm going to use my fingers to make sure that I am holding it in place, right? And I'm going to again try and make sure that I'm where I place the first stitch on the rest of the handles. Gonna back stitch, gonna let it go, stop, cut my thread. Just ordered a machine. Which one do I have? This one right here is a Husqvarna Viking Designer 1. This one I actually got for free today off of Facebook. And this thing works like a champ. It works like a champ. I also have a Singer 7220. This one embroiders as well. I have a SE 425, I think it is, which it sews and embroiders. So it's all about what you want your machine to do. This one right here, we'll probably try out the embroidery, but we definitely wouldn't just embroider on this because it uses floppy disk, but it sews. Oh my goodness, it sews so good, and it wasn't too hard for me to try and figure out like how to load the bobbins and all of that good stuff. It wasn't too difficult. All right, so everywhere that we have thread, which one did you order? Bedazzling Designs. And all I'm doing now is just cutting off all of our threads. And you definitely want to cut your threads because when you're sewing, you don't want to have to worry about are you sewing down the right stuff, right? So far we're looking okay. I don't even know how long it took me to sew that bag right there because like I said, I'm not really using a pattern. I'm not following anything in particular. I just was trying to see what I could make or come up with out of my excess fabric that I had left over from the big bag on this project. And I'm just, look at it. Don't catch your fabric on fire, okay? Don't, that's not part of the tutorial. All right, so now when we fold this, and then we have those folded lines, so when we go to top stitch, so right now we have our top stitch lines already made for us. So when we get ready to do our bag, we have our handles. So these handles might not be too terribly bad, but we got our handles on. All right, so now the next thing we're going to do, and you want to make sure that you have these handles, out of the way, and you want to make sure that everything is flat. And again, you want to make sure you're not sewing your handles. You want to make sure that you are, you have your fabric going the right way. Y'all, I burnt the fabric a little bit, but it's going to be okay. It's on the inside and it's at the bottom. So all of this. Okay, so you got the P500, the sister machine to the NQ1700. Okay. Am I going to put a liner in it? I am. I got the liner right here. So yes, we're going to put a lining in it. All right. And again, you want to make sure you got those handles. Let's put a clip on here so we can try to keep these handles. We need those guys to lay low and chill. All right, so we're going to go back. Now I can't promise you that I'm gonna get that same line of stitching that I had the first time, but I'm gonna try. Okay, I'm gonna try. And of course I did not, but guess what? It's gonna be okay. I don't have the exact same line of stitching. It's close. All I'm trying to do is get us a functional bag. And it is going to be very important. Let me stop this. I'm just pulling this over, keeping things lined up. But it's going to be very, very important to make sure that you are back stitching. So raise your needle. And I am going to, again, try that line of stitching. Can't guarantee that I'm going to get it, but we're going to try it. I'm going to back stitch because that's important. Now I'm going to stop this and I'm going to push these handles up just a little further because we don't want to sew our handles at all, okay, until we actually need them to be top stitched. And as y'all can see, this thing's, I mean, it sews like a dream. I'm back stitching. All right, I'm going to stop it, cut my thread. So we should now have something that was oh so pretty when we did it the first time. Again, I got things, you know, threads and stuff like that are hanging out, but you ultimately should end up with something looking like this, okay? And you want to, those threads, they are very important to make sure that you cut those threads. But if you can keep up with your threads and which is the proper one, then by all means cut them at the end. My bird brain don't work that way. Okay, so if we go down in here, we didn't sew our straps, we're good. We're just going to tuck them back in like so. Now this is your lining piece. This one you don't have to worry about directional fabric because it's the same on both sides. So you're going to do the same thing, except you are going to okay, on this side you're going to leave a opening. So when you get over here, you're going to sew to, you know, maybe 3-4 inches down, skip all of this, and then sew back stitch and sew the rest down. Okay, so this is for our liner. So I'm going to put my needle down. I'm going to start. I'm going to back stitch. I'm going to stop. I'm going to raise my needle. I'm going to cut my thread. Okay, I'm going to skip. I'm going to skip a big chunk because I need to have a chunk that's big enough when I go to turn my bag inside out. Okay, all right, so we're going to start it. I'm going to back stitch a few, and now I'm going to let up off of the back stitch button. I'm going to back stitch again because I'm at the end. I'm going to stop. I'm going to raise my needle and I'm going to pivot. Okay, pivot just simply means turn the work. Okay, turn the work. I'm going to back stitch a bit, and I'm going to let it go all the way the rest of the way. And when I get to the end of this, I'm going to let it run off just a little bit, and now I'm back stitching. Okay, and I'm going to let it come down. Stop it. Okay, So you should have something like this if your bag is going, you know, depending on what fabric you're using, okay? And as you can see, this is our top part. This right here is our opening, okay? This is all of that's our opening, what we're going to use to turn the bag inside out, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these clips. Thought I put 2 on them, but guess I didn't. Okay. So now I'm just going to put these back down in here like so. You're still going to leave this. I could top stitch these now, but I think I'll wait. I could top stitch those now, but I'll wait until the end. All right. So we're just going to put that back down there like so. So as you can see, everything lines up perfectly, right? Oh, I'm out of frame in the machine. Sorry. This right here, this is the machine we're on. So everything should line up, right? All right. Now we're going to box corners, but we're not going to box them quite yet, okay? So what we're going to do, open up your, okay, open up your, not open it up, just like so, right? Take this hand and you're going to just push this down in there. And you want to be easy because you don't want to tear up any of your stitches. So just be nice and easy. Nice and easy. Pull it up without breaking up, tearing up, busting up your stitches, right? Okay. Everybody with me so far? Y'all still can't see? This right here, this where we at. Oh, you mean down here? Okay. I'll move it back up when we go back to the machine. Just y'all remind me, okay? So all we're doing is I'm gonna take it back off. This is that lining piece, right? This is the lining piece. And all I did was take this hand, my right hand, and put it inside of here, okay? And all I'm doing is sliding it in. You see now? Okay. So all I'm doing is just sliding it on, and I'm being nice and easy because I do not want to rip these stitches, because technically we only really have basting stitches, in my opinion, at this point, right? You don't have your where your hard sewn is what I like to call it. It's another term for it, but I don't know it off the top of my head. Okay, so now we have this. So now what we want to do is, whoops, let me just turn y'all this way right here. Okay, so as you can see, we have our opening right here. All right, but we're not going to worry about anything with that opening. What we're going to do is grab a good pair of scissors, okay? A good pair. Don't get too close to your line of stitching, but you just want to cut those little rabbit ears off, okay? Cut those little rabbit ears off, and you should end up with something like so, right? Now, because this right here drives me just a little bit bonkers, and you don't have to do this. This is just what I do, okay? I'm just going to cut that off like so a little bit. All right. So now we have this. And I'm just poking my corners out as soon as I can get my fingers from unwrapped around the whatchamacallit. So I'm poking corners out. So everybody with me? This is what we look like so far. We just have our fabric, and actually let me do something else. I can make this a little easier for y'all. If you turn this, I prefer to leave mine with the um with the lining side showing. And see, that's why it's important not to mess with your bust your thing. So now I gotta turn that back in. Hey, Miss Robin. So now I gotta turn this back out and sew that little part because I cut it too close. See? And sometimes with that line of stitching, it's just hard to see sometimes. So, and plus I had already, look at me looking for a petal. I had already jagged the thing up by using that seam ripper, but we're getting it. So we're coming to that part. I'm gonna back stitch over that part just because I want to make sure. Now I'm gonna release it and let it go. So before you start tacking your liner and stuff down, this is where you got to make sure that everything is together, because once you sew once you sew it down, yikesy daisy. Okay, so I'm putting my hand through there. I'm running it, my nails all the way across. We look good there. Okay, so now back to the regularly scheduled program. Now, like I said, you can leave this turned either way. I'm gonna show you both ways. You can turn it inside out because this is your lining piece, and you're gonna pull this through. So when you pull this through, you should have the lining at the top. Oh, y'all, I did get an actual point turner. Okay, this is what the point turner look like. But baby, this thing, all I'm gonna say is this thing is sharp. Use at your own risk, okay? But it works. Okay? It works. I don't want to poke this too hard, but I'm trying to get my corner out. Oh, see, let me stop right there before I tear something up. Okay, so this is what you are looking like at this point, right? This is what you're looking like. And then right in here, I'm going to, I think I want to go ahead and do my top stitching now all the way around for this little part. But you want to make sure that your seams are lined up. And I'm just laying this down, y'all, so I can see. So you could easily be done with this bag like right here, okay? You could easily be done with it right here. You would just top stitch all the way around, and this would be an unlined bag, okay? And you would have to sew this down, and then you could be done. But we're gonna go a step further. We're gonna put our lining on. This is the other reason why I don't really like flipping it inside out. But all right, so we're just going to do like so. And again, you want to make sure you got your that you have your handles out of the way. Push those corners out as much as possible, okay? And then you're going to sew around this. I'm gonna sew this part down. I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna go ahead and do my my top stitching up. So let me flip this back out because I don't want to run any risk of those handles getting caught Blue, do you hear your friends? Do you hear your friends making all this noise? You back? Okay. All right. So I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to run the risk of being clumsy and mess up my handles. So all I'm doing is I kind of have the bag. Ouch! Wait a minute, girl. Hold on, child. I'm trying to sew my hand together. And you just kind of want to top stitch across this, making sure everything is out the way. Now it is kind of difficult, but it can be done. So just, it doesn't have to be a perfect top stitch, but just be careful, okay? All right. So I got our middle there. I need to put the middle here. And then I'm going to put the middle on the other side. And then we're going to flip it out and flip it up. Okay? All right. All right, so our handle there is great. Now let's do it, repeat that same process. So all I did was, where I did not have a middle stitch there, I went and top stitched in the middle there, so that our handle will hold up like it should. And now all I'm doing is repeating the process on the other side, but I'm going to, again, you got to check, make sure everything is out of the way. Now, you may not be able to really see this part, so, all right. Okay. And I did the same exact thing. You hear them? Mm-hmm. Your friends out. Yes, please. Yes, please. All right. Same thing. Make sure you pull everything out. And you don't really have to back stitch it at this part, because you've already back stitched and back stitched, so you should be okay. So that's what we're looking like. So now we're going to flip this back out. And y'all, we are about to be done. Once we get our lining, poke these corners out to the best of your ability. I'm scared to use the point turner, y'all, because that thing is sharp. Okay. So, oops. I want to top stitch that part, but I'm just going to hold my little horses. All right. So now we're going to make sure, and I'm just going to pin these like so, just until I get it inside of the place inside the bag like I need it to be, right? So something like that, and just make sure you can get a little grip. That's not gonna work, but I'm gonna just try it. I'm gonna try to see. Can y'all see? Or y'all can see? Okay. So push this down in here, making sure to leave those handles straight though. Okay. And all I'm going to do with this bag, even with the other one that I made, I'm just going to probably take them, because I'm not doing no trick-or-treating. I'm too old for trick-or-treating. But I'm just going to take them and give them to some kids, my next door neighbors. I think they got 2 kids. So I'm just gonna put some candy in them and give them to them. And there's that. Okay, so we got our hole. So that way when we stitch this down and flip it out, this should be on the outside. This should be on the inside. I mean, flipped up top stitch, and y'all get it right. All right, so let's move these handles. I'm gonna bring these handles out. Oh no, I'm kind of nervous with these handles, y'all. I was nervous on the other one with these handles, but it worked out. Okay. The only thing I did on the other one different is I didn't flip. I left it on the lining side, but I kind of want to. This part is a gamble when if you top stitch too early, it's a gamble. But I think it's going to be okay because I'm going to top stitch this part down anyway. So I think it'll be fine. So I'm just going to go with it. And I think it'll be fine. Did you embroider on the bag? No, this is not it's not a embroidery pattern. I started to embroider on the other bag, but I was just like, I didn't really feel like all that because I was just testing just to see what I could come up with out of extra fabric. So that's all this is. But for reference, this was 11 1/4 wide by 6 1/4 tall. That's what the fabric ended up being. So all I'm doing here is just folding up the handle, okay, and I'm pulling my lining right up to it because we're getting ready to go across this. And then once we do that, we're going to pull our bag out and we're going to finish it up. I'm thinking this part should work. Even though I did it differently on the other bag, but I think this will be okay. And I'm keeping that seam lined up, right? As close as possible. You want your seam. Okay. Ooh. Let's get these shenanigans off of here though. And one thing about sewing, you can't rush the process. You cannot rush the process. It's just like embroidery. You have to be patient and do not rush the process. Now I'm going to open up that little hair of a seam right here. I'm just going to push it across and open it up, and I'm going to sew across. But yeah, so this is just a T had some extra fabric type deal, and T is but I will tell you, so if you're going to do 11 1/4 by 6 1/4, you're going to need 2 pieces of the main fabric at 11 1/4 by 6 1/4. Your lining should be 11 1/4 by 6 1/4. Your fusible stabilizer or whatever type stabilizer you choose to use also should be that same size. The handles, they're longer than this, but it's going to be 4 inches wide, okay? And then you can make this 21 inches long, okay? So how I've already ironed it in half, like that, then you would take this middle part and you would iron it into this one. Then you would bring this part into that, right? And all of this is going to be ironed. Then you're going to fold over, iron again, clip it if it doesn't stay, and then you're going to stitch at the very beginning, back stitch, come all the way down to the end. Then you're going to back stitch and then let it run off. You're going to pivot. You're going to back stitch again, go across here, come all the way up this side, back stitch, come across, back stitch again, and then cut your thread. That is how you make your how you make your handles. Now I did line my handles with this right here, which is Pellin SF 101. I did line this. Okay, you don't have to, because this one right here is not lined, but the handles, still work well. And I put my cell phone in there for a good little while and was carrying it around, so it's okay. It works. It's good. All right, so now what we're going to do is put this on. We're going to stop that. I'm going to remove this clip, and I'm still holding everything in place. Oh, let me get y'all in frame. Oops. Okay. So I'm holding this because you want to keep everything lined up. It's going to be a little bulky going across there, but that's going to be okay. You're going to stop it, and you're going to straighten up your fabric, okay? Straighten up your fabric because you got to keep it straight, or else you're going to end up sewing it together. All right, we're going to stop. I'm going to hold but remove this clip. All while holding, I'm still trying to make sure I keep everything straightened out. Okay, keeping everything straightened out, making sure that I'm not sewing anything together. Going over those handles again. Okay, and I'm going to stop. This time I'm gonna raise my needle. I'm gonna cut my thread. Okay, and all you want to do is where you stopped at, right? Where you stopped at, and it didn't quite catch right there. That's okay. You still have a final top stitching to do, so that'll be fine. Now I could just, but I want to keep it going because I know that'll be top stitched again. So go move your fabric all the way back, and you want to try and go as close as you can. Remember, keep everything out of the way. And you want to try and go right in that line of stitching where you were. Now the light bulb is out on this machine, but she gave me an extra one, and then I dropped it when I was putting it in, so it's blown, and I do have some coming, so it makes it a lot. I would be able to see a little more easier in normal instances. All right, I'm going to stop it. I'm gonna raise my needle. Actually, I'm gonna cut my thread. And the reason I'm actually cutting my thread every time that I go around is because I'm just making sure, because I really can't see that well without the light, I'm making sure I'm checking my line of stitching so that I can keep this top stitching going the right direction. Now right here, you want to be real easy right here, because this is where you have your opening at. So generally what I do is I'll move past the opening just a little bit, and when I go back to sew my opening closed, I will sew that part as well. All right, so now I'm going to stop that. I'm going to check where I'm at, and I can tell that I'm not where I need to be, so I'm going to cut my thread. I'm going to pin this back in place because, again, I'm trying to stay consistent, right? Now I'm going to stop. I'm going to hold this. You don't have to hold it real tight, but you want to be easy. Go over, stop it, Bring your fabric on around. Make sure you're holding still. Making sure everything is out of the way. Okay. And I still have my finger on that handle. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to raise my needle and I'm going to check one last time. And I still don't believe. Okay. So far we're on target. Yep, our line of stitching looks really, really good. All right. So we are almost back where we were. So we're just going to keep going. We're going to keep going. Making sure so I'm pretty close, pretty accurate right there at that line of stitching. I'm okay where it is. It may be just a hair off, and that's okay. Now we're going to stop, raise our needle, pull our fabric out just a wee bit, straighten it out, drop our needle, and you still have to hold that fabric when you take those clips off. Okay, I'm gonna stop it, cut the thread, and I'm gonna check. Okay, and that looks pretty good. Okay, pretty good. So right here I do have to go back over that handle that I was telling y'all that I didn't quite catch. So we're going to catch that handle now. Okay, back stitch a bit. Alright, I'm going to stop it, cut our thread. Alright, so far, this is what we're looking like. Okay, this is what we're looking like. So now what we're going to do is find our little hole. Okay, we're going to pull our handles and everything through, being real easy, y'all, because when you don't do it really easy, you bust up your stitches and it causes you more grief and mayhem in the end, and that's not what you want. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to ease my hands in that, my fingers in that hole, right? And I'm just going to straighten out my my handles, right? Okay, so pull this up, and you'll know that you caught your handles like I caught mine a little too good, but they're sewn in. Okay, sewn in, but you'll be able to, that'll be the top of your the top part of the handles on the bag. So now what we're doing is just pushing those corners out before we sew, because once you sew this, you're not going to get the corners out even when you put it down on the inside of the bag, right? Okay, so you'll have this like so. I gotta find those handles before I sew. Hold on, let me get my handles where my handles need to be before I sew them in. Oh, let's get these placements. Get these handle placements right. That's why you have to check and check and check. So I'm going to pull these out. Let me turn this back for just a second and find my handles. So we got that top part open, but we need to get our handle. Yeah, I'm just checking so I don't sew my handles. I got them. Nope, I still ain't got them where they need to be. This part is imperative. Thank you. This part right here is very imperative because you will sew the handles. Ah, it's still not where I need them to be. Okay. Let me turn this back out for a minute, back inside, because I need to make sure I got my handles in the right spot. And even pushing this back through, you want to make sure. Oops, I might not be able to get it back through. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm able to get it back through. I just gotta be real easy pulling it back through. Okay. Y'all, I think I had too much fun yesterday. Y'all hear me? I had too much fun. Okay. Okay. It looks like, okay. Let's see what we come up with, y'all, because I think I probably should not have followed my mind. Hold on, y'all. I think we already. Yep, I still use StreamYard, and it's the price on StreamYard. Oh, y'all, I see what I did. Oops. Hold on. I'm gonna have to fix that before I can turn this out. I did sew the handles. I did sew the handles. Yeah, the price on StreamYard, I don't know. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with StreamYard. Let's fix this right here. Let's untop stitch this part. Because the new price on StreamYard, mm, let's just say, and I don't know that it's worth so all I'm doing is taking out that middle one where I top stitched it down, because we don't need it top stitch quite yet to the end. That's the other thing. Don't top stitch too early. But it's going up to like $80 something a month, or $80, 84, whatever it is. Too much. And even with like they're saying to be able to change the frames and all of that, record. But you can find other programs out there like Wondershare and stuff like that is going to be a cheaper option. And it does the same thing. Now, I did try to use, I forgot what the program is. I have to ask Sean from Go Savvy Designs again. What's the name of that program? But um, it's it's a lot cheaper. Okay, y'all. So I almost got my little part that I need to lift back up. But yeah, so I don't know. For the time being, I'm still using it. Yay! It wasn't that hard to open it back up. I'm just trying to not rip the fabric. Okay. And then I'm going to go on the back part of this one and open this part out. Okay. And then I'm gonna do the other handle. I mean the other side, the other handle, and then we'll actually be able to top stitch at the end. But if anybody else knows any programs, streaming software, let me know. Any good streaming software, because you can't just just use any software. And this part right here, y'all might not be able to see because my eyeballs need to see what I'm actually unhooking here. Okay. All right. Here we go. And let's unhook this part. Boom. All right. Let's do the other two. And then we can carry on. There we go right there. And let's open this part. All right, let's carry on there. Got that one. And okay. And this is why I do it, so y'all can see the mistakes that can be made in real time and how to correct them. But if I had went any further in sewing this, it would have been, we would have been SOL. Right? All right. Okay. I'm going to check it really quick and see how much more I need to actually unloosen, which I don't think it should be very much that I need to unloosen now. Okay, let's pull it through. Nope, I think we got a little bit more to go. Or do we? Nope, we don't. Or do we? This one goes back on that side. Nope, we do have a little bit more to unloosen. Okay, so let's go back through, pull it back through, and unloosen just a little bit more. Actually, I can do it from here. I don't have to go all the way back in there. And y'all, you can't, like, when you on YouTube, you can't worry about making mistakes, because everything ain't gonna be perfect. It's just as long as you can show, how to fix them mistakes. So that's what we're doing right here. We are fixing that mistake. And I think because of the way I actually sewed the handles, it wouldn't work for this particular. I would have to do it the way I did the other bag. So we're opening this up, and we are almost done with taking this apart. We're going to flip it back the other way so that our handles will come out. Because if we don't, we're not going to see our handles. And we want to see our handles. That was the purpose of it, right? I want to try to, like I said, I want to try to embroidery out on this machine, but baby, it would definitely have to be a design that is already on these floppy disks, because I don't have floppy disk. Not really interested in really embroidering too much on this machine, but we'll definitely test it out to see what the embroidery looks like. Okay, yay, here we go. Has anybody ever used one of these Viking designer ones? Thank you, honey bun. Even though you done clipped some of it. Yeah, even though you done clipped some of it.
Just a little tink tink.
Just a little tink tink. I hear you.
Shocking.
Yeah. All right. So, but if you have used one of these machines, let me know how you like it. If you ever used the embroidery on it, any of that. Oh yeah, y'all, we straight sewed the handles. Okay. So let's unloosen this little part. Blue said, "Hey, friend." What's good? She said, "What's good?" Hey, Miss D. Evie Mugs. That's the one I tried. They look like. Let me see. They look like this. The real old schools. The real old schools. I definitely will, because honey, this software here. It's gonna be get somebody else to pay them prices. I ain't gonna be able to do it. Cause I was already paying them $49 a month when I was using before they went up in price. Already was paying them $49 a month. So for you to double in price, that's a little, that's a little wait. Oh, you do? Okay. I sure do, Miss D, cause I haven't seen a floppy disk since probably since I was in elementary school. So yes, if you have some, let me know how much, and I definitely do. Okay, y'all. All right, we're on our last part of this right here. I'm being careful because I don't want to um what's the word, rip our opening that we already have. Okay. I appreciate y'all hanging in here with me and my shenanigans. And my problem is too, I'll make something. I don't write the steps down. And as soon as I get on live, I'll be done forgot what I did. Oops. I'm gonna have to sew that part back. I even made one too without handles, y'all. Oh, thank you, Miss D. Thank you, Miss Robin. I'm just trying to not rip our stuff that we don't work so hard on. Okay. All it takes is finding the right stitch. That's all it takes. Now look at that. We found the right stitch and it just went. That's all I be needing y'all to just tell me it's going to be all right. That's all. That's all I be needing. Okay. So now that we Blue, your homeboy be taking the door. Your homeboy Blue Bear be taking the his head and just busting in the door when he hey Miss Jennifer, when he ready to come back inside. What's wrong with him? He busted the door open like he live here. I mean like he pay rent. He pay the mortgage. He don't pay no mortgage. But I think he do. Okay. So what we're going to do, y'all, is we took our shindig back off, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to leave it turned, because remember I said I wanted to try and see, do it the opposite way. So we saw that turning it right side in does not work. So what we're going to do is we're going to push our little straps right on back down in there, and we're going to leave it like that. And then we're going to open this back up, and we're going to briefly run some flame across it. Don't catch it on fire. Y'all know I gotta see, like that. Don't catch it on fire. Okay. And then you're gonna pull all those strings or cut them, however. All right. So now that we're back on track, so leave your bag flipped wrong side out. I think it really only works flipping it right side out when you have a bag like we did in the direction that we did. Oh, y'all wasn't with me when we did that. Oh, yes, y'all was. When we did the tote. Because that was a live video. Okay. So now we back on track. So we are not going to have... Wait, where's our handles? Oh, right here. We're not going to have that flipped right side. So you're going to have your lining side to your... Not your lining. Your fusible side to the inside of the lining. Hopefully that made sense. If it didn't, ask me and I will correct. I will try to explain a little different. Listen, Bear don't be playing. Bear take that big old head, and Bear coming in. Okay, so the object of this, making sure you don't sew those straps down on the inside. Okay. Oh, look at me. I took the foot off. I didn't took the foot off, so let's put the foot back on. All right. There we go. And I don't know what been wrong with Oreo today. Oreo been I use a couple of them. But this one right here is that her... Oh my goodness. Is that her squantum. And then I don't really use the PE 900, but I had a PE 900. The PE... Nope, I sold a PE 535. I sold that one. I sold the Janome. That was a multi-needle. So the multi-needle that I have now is the Smart Stitch one that I'm still working on learning how to use. That is why I have not brought it to y'all yet, because I'm lost. I can't even thread it. And I have a Janome Memory Craft 550E, I think it is. That Janome. Oh, I love that Janome. And we actually have used the Janome on the channel. And I have the Sketch. I love the Sketch. Trying to think what else is back there. PE 900. So I have quite a few. And all I'm doing now, y'all, is repeating that process where I just took the bag off, but I had the lining side where we were testing to see if that was going to work, and it did not work, so we took it off. So that's what I'm doing right now, just putting all that back together. All right, I'm going to stop it because I don't want anything to be sewed together. So I'll just check it along the way. All right, so I'm right here, and then I'm almost back to where we were. But the PE 500 series is definitely a great starter embroidery machine. Even sometimes, like when I have a multicolor design, I don't know, sometimes it just seems a lot more. The only part of that on a single needle is when you got a whole bunch of color changes. But outside of that, give me a single needle any day. And it's going to be some projects that it's just not going to be worth cranking up the multi-needle machine for. All right, I'm going to stop that. And we got a few more stitches right across here. And then we will be flipping our bag. And hopefully we got it right this time. But you will love your machine. How soon before you get your machine? Do you know when it's coming? All right, and we're gonna stop that. You got the 770? Okay. All right. Now y'all, okay. I got one strap. Okay, I got two. I ain't sewed the straps together. Okay. We might be cooking with some Crisco now. All right, so we're gonna pull this through. Pull this up like this. Y'all, I still don't know. Because remember, we flipped this inside out and it's still. I don't know, y'all, because I flipped it. Let me see something. My straps are. These straps is about to take me out here. My straps is about to take me out. Because this one I have the lining in. Let me see. Yeah. So why my straps not coming out of this one? Because that matches like that one matches. So let's try and figure this out. Okay, let me see something. Let me think. Because if you sew this up, because technically this should be. Wait a minute. Did I pull the thing through the wrong way? Y'all, I tie it. I promise you I'm tired. Did I pull it through the wrong way? Oh. Oh. I think I must have pulled it through the wrong way because I was like, wait a minute. Okay. Now that we halfway got our life together, and we're going to turn this because then you top stitch that part. Okay. We got our life together now. All right. And then we top stitch across there. Okay. So we got our life together, right? So I was like, wait a minute now. I just pulled it through the wrong way. So now all we're going to do is sew our bag closed. We're going to back stitch. And we're going to let it go. And then now we're going to push our lining down in there. We're going to back stitch. We're going to stop. Okay. All right, now we're going to push our lining down. Now we're going to top stitch and then we will be done. Okay. Push your corners out on the inside. But before we push our thing in, let's go ahead. Let me show you how to box these corners, because this is where everybody was leaving me a message because y'all could not see, thanks to, we ain't gonna say no names, StreamYard, when they was doing their updates and had my camera doing numbers. Okay. All right. So, all right. So this right here is what you have on your ends. Go. Oh yeah, I'm a top stitch around this part when we're done. So what I'm gonna do right here, can y'all see that? All I'm doing is just grabbing. I'm just grabbing and pulling out. Okay. It's gonna give me a corner, a little point, right? It's gonna give me a little point. And if you like me, didn't push your corners all the way out. Okay. So you get a little corner. All you're gonna do is go across that little corner. Okay. You want to back stitch. You're going to stop it, cut your thread. Okay. And then that little edge right here, that point, peacock, whatever you want to call it, just cut it off. Okay. That's how you box a corner. And the camera is not okay. That's how you box a corner. Okay. That's it. So we're going to do the same thing to this side. Okay. Same thing to this side. Try to get my little point out again, because I didn't. There we go. So we got our little point, triangle, peacock, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, that. Okay. And we're going to go ahead, go straight across it. And then we're going to back stitch again. We're going to let it run. Back stitch. Stop. Cut our thread. And don't go too close to where you cut. Where you sewed. And then you're going to push this back down in here. You're going to push your lining. Pull your points back. Then push this back down in here. Then we're going to top stitch this thing all the way around, so that the lining will stay down. Push these corners out as much as you can. You could repeat that process on the outside if you would like, but I'm not going to do all that. So here we go. We just going to top stitch this. Like we started out doing. Now I'm going to top stitch right across here where I had to unsew our bag. I'm going to go across it. I'm going to let it come back. I'm going to go across it. I'm going to let it, it's struggling a little bit, so I'm going to help it. I'm going to stop it. Okay. Okay. And we need to check our bobbin. Okay. So our bobbin should be like a P. Bring it through. It's got a little groove in it, a little silver groove. You're going to hold it, bring it up, bring it around, down, like that. Put your bobbin piece back on, and you're going to carry on, okay? And we're going to back stitch. Now we're going to let it go. Alright. I think our bobbin, it's low, but it ain't that low. So right now we're playing bobbin Russian roulette, okay? So just stay with me. I don't advise you to do this with your machine, but we playing bobbin Russian roulette and the reason we playing bobbin Russian roulette over here is because I have to wind bobbin for this machine, and guess what? I don't have none wound except like what's in here. Okay, that's it. That's all. All right, so I'm just going to make do with what we got. Okay, cut that off. Okay, it's top stitching. It's doing what I want to do, so I'm okay with that. And then all of these, yours won't look like this at the top because I did what? I took it apart 5 or 6 times. Not really that many times, but you know, I took it apart. So yours won't look like this. It'll look nice and alright, it'll look nice and neat. The arm sleeve? Oh, you mean the little tabletop thing, Miss Robin? Is that what you're talking about? It has one, but it definitely has one, I think. Or I don't know. This one probably does have, oh, it does have a long arm. But I forgot what she told me about the long arm on this thing. Or the free arm, whatever it's called. That arm. Okay. So we're almost done with this little top stitching type situation. Alright. And I'm just going to pull this around. And we're going to keep going. Stop that part, bring this part, let's raise our needle and carry on with this. Let's fix this little top part. Oh, she must be tired, child. She the one that got in the bed. He down here on the floor beside me. Like he right. Okay, so we got this little part right here to top stitch. And like I said, y'all on the top of y'all on would be nice and neat because you're gonna remember to just leave yours, not second guess yourself, right? Okay. And I'm gonna stop, cut that. You're not gonna second. No, that's not what you're talking about. Okay. All right. So now what you do is, again, cut all your little threads off, make it look nice and neat. And I may even consider sewing down like the top part around on the inside of this. But here's where you do all your cutting your threads and all of that good stuff. I'm just going to take the lighter and kind of run over it. Remember, don't catch it on fire though, okay? Like me catching it on fire, it's probably dangerous. Just cut your threads. That's a little better. I don't be acting like I know how to move my hand around. And I got so many extra thread because I took this thing apart so many times. Then I don't really know what's the right and wrong thread. Now I'm gonna put some little fray track around here, and I'm gonna let it dry overnight. Not that it really takes that long, but I'm gonna let it dry overnight, and then I'll finish cutting up these threads. But we finally got our bag. This won't be, I'll make another one. This won't be the one we give away to the next door neighbors. That's for sure. We'll give them our other one, our first one that we made. Then I'll make another one because this one ain't it. So I'll make another one because, so basically, oops. Okay, y'all. So I'm gonna just, so we do have our bag. This was the one I made off camera, and it looks like something. This is the same bag, but because we unstitched and stitched and stitched, but I mean, it's a bag. It's still cute, but we're not gonna give that one to anybody. We're gonna give away the first one. But so let's do a quick recap, okay? So what you should not do, what you should not do is you should not sew this together unless you don't, like, if you didn't want any handles on this, I guess you could. But so what I'm going to have to do with this one is, thank you, Miss Jennifer. So what we're going to do is I'm going to unstitch this. Thank y'all. I'm going to unstitch this. So basically, let's say, okay, I'm just going to hold this up. Okay, so this is our fabric, right? We're going to pretend that this has the cats on it. And this is a 11 1/4, okay, wide by 6 1/4 high, right? So that's, you should have a lining piece, okay, the liner. You should actually have your outside or main fabric, the same exact size. And you should also have you a piece of, I use Pellin SF 101, okay? You can use Pellin 987. You can use whatever floats your boat, okay? It's your world, your craft. Thank you, Donzel. Yes, I forgot all about that show. Yes, that used to be my show. So we got our main fabric, 11 1/4 by 6 1/4. We have our lining fabric, 11 1/4 by 6 1/4. We're gonna pretend this is 11 1/4 by 6 1/4. That's our fusible lining to the back of our main fabric, right? You can also use this or 987 for the back of this. Now, y'all, I'm gonna show y'all this because I didn't make these handles on camera, right? So let's get that off of there. Me and my flow gonna have a time being swept tonight. Okay, so let me get my little iron. Okay, while that's heating up, And let's see, is this gonna be big enough? Okay, this is gonna be almost big enough. It don't really have to be perfect for this. You just want it fused in a, so it'll take a free arm. Yes. Okay. So this part right here, she thinking about this machine. The other, oh, you can't see it. This machine right here, I do have a free arm for. This machine right here, this her Squanner. I think this right here is what she calls the free arm. So yeah, we'll be using that. So the free arm, okay. Um, we'll try that out doing our sewing projects. Okay, so we sew this down. Let me make sure y'all can see this because I want y'all to see this. So we sew this right here down. All right. I mean iron, fuse. See, y'all, I'm tight. Okay, so what you do, this right here should be, these are for your handles, or you could use webbing, okay? You could use webbing. I don't have, oh, it's way over here, but you could use webbing. And you would cut your handles, okay? We're going to pretend this, well, it is 4 inches wide. So 4 inches wide by 21 inches long, right? And then what you do is you fold that in half, okay? Fold it in half. Ooh, that's hot, okay? And then you're going to fold the first piece in. Let me bring y'all to the camera. Fold that, so you got your first half, right? Then you're going to fold that side closest to you into that center line. And make sure your fabric is even as well. And then you're going to do the other side the same way, okay? Same way. You're going to iron it down. Keep it even though, right? Keep it even. And then you're going to fold it over on itself, okay? And then when you fold it over on itself, I just kind of leave it there for a second to try and give me that crease. And in the event that, like it doesn't stay, what you're going to do, clip it like this. Put a clip here. Grab you another clip. Let's get this out of the way. Alright, now I'm going to move y'all back to the sewing machine so you'll be able to see how to sew this down. You want to sew this open side or edge first, okay? I would sew it about 1/8 of an inch. I'm not going to get it that close here. You're going to back stitch. As soon as I learn how to change my stitch length and all of that on this machine, I'll be able to sew at the lengths that I want. But this one, I know how to change my stitch lengths and all of that. Okay? And then you're going to let this come all the way down. And once it gets all the way down, you're going to back stitch a few stitches. You're going to stop. You're going to raise your needle. Okay? Drop that needle back down. And then you're going to go across that short edge, making sure that you back stitch. Okay? Let it go back forward. Stop your machine. Raise your needle. Drop your needle back down. You're going to start. Back stitch. Alright. And then you're going to just come all the way down the rest of the way. And then we're going to pivot again and catch this short end. And that machine is gliding. Do y'all see that? The machine is gliding on its own. I'm not pressing. I don't have a presser foot or anything. That's pretty good. All right, so now I'm going to back stitch. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to raise my needle. I'm going to turn and pivot. Turn my work. All that good stuff. Let it go. Back stitch. Stop it. Cut my thread. Okay. And then what I do is I'm just going to come just kind of cross, not real close to my stitch line, but just across. And then this would be a handle. Okay. This would be your handle. And because I actually did pretty good on there, I mean, look at it. I did really, you can't really tell it. Well, you can tell it up here. But I did really well on sewing this all the way down on both sides. And then when you got ready to do put your handles on your bag. So anytime, say this is our, let me grab a piece of fabric. Okay, right here. This is our, these kitties right here. This, we're going to say this part right here is our bag, right? So your handle, you always want the raw edge toward the top part of your bag, okay? Raw edge. Oh, y'all can't see. Raw edge, which is right here. This is your raw edge. Always should be toward the top of your bag, or the opening, or the zipper, whatever you're using on that particular bag. Then you would fold it around, okay? And, you know, of course, you have to mark the center and all of that. So that would be the size of the handles. And remember, 4 inches wide by 21 inches long. But for two handles, I'm sorry. For two handles, you're going to make that 4 inches wide by 44, 21, 42 inches long. Okay? So there we go. And then your handles would be, of course, this is not wide enough, but your handle would be, you have your gap here. You would baste it in place. Okay? And once you baste that in place, and this handle could actually go on something else, so we're going to save that. And once you baste it in place, it gives your bag the stability that it'll need. And where's my phone? We're going to test, I'm going to show y'all that this bag works, even though it's got issues. So see, our bag works. I'm shaking it. It's got my phone in it. Okay? It works. So these aren't too hard, too complicated. Not too hard, not too complicated to do. You just got to have the patience to do it. Now, here's right here. This is the next project that I don't know if it's going to be the direct next project, but we're going to make a bag out of these placemats, okay? Out of these $2 placemats from Dollar General, okay? Dollar General. So it'll be something like this. Well, what you do is you have to fold your main one. You fold it in half, get your little seam, and then you're going to chop it in half, put it in between these two, between like that. Then you would fold it over, well, the opposite way in this case. But you still have to do a little bit more cutting. You got those? And then, thank you. And then you fold it. This part won't be here, remember? So you're going to fold it. This part right here will form a pocket because it's going to be on, let me see if I can make it do it without it being cut. So I can try and show y'all what I mean. No, it ain't going to work for me like I want it to work because it's not cut. But it'll be something sandwiched like this, but the cream or ivory or whatever color you want to call this color will form a pocket on this side and this side. And then we are either going to, if I can get those handles here on time that I ordered to go with this, because they're made out of wood, we would sew those on. If not, we're just going to use some webbing, okay? And then you will have like a top. It looks like a taco shape to me. So we're going to make a purse out of that. And yeah, y'all. So I thank y'all for hanging out with your girl. It's been fun. I'm going to I'm going to use the seam ripper and open this one back up, and we're going to make the other bags so that both of the children, when I take the bags next door to the neighbors, they'll both have two beautiful bags. That the other one got a little hiccups to it. I ain't gonna give them that. And we're gonna put some candy in and they'll have it for Halloween. But there's that. But I thank y'all for hanging out with your girl. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. It's been a pleasure. And I forgot to really do my intro at the beginning of the live, so I'm going to do the intro and outro. I'm your girl T. If you don't know me, I'm T. Thanks for stopping by. Please make sure you like, subscribe, all of those things. For my returning members and subscribers, welcome back, fam. Welcome back. But in this case, good night, y'all. Oh, I love you too, Blue. Thank you. Peace. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye, guys. Yes, Miss Jennifer, gotta love that seam ripper. Bye, y'all.